Free Epstein client list is on the way, in 10 days to be exact. I know that's hard to hear and believe it, but yes, we're getting confirmations from Glenn Beck, Anna Paulina, and now mainstream media. I don't think I have to over-exaggerate when I say this is actually going to change everything, and I mean everything about the fabric of reality in America as a whole. I don't even believe the viewers are ready for what's going to get exposed. We are talking about the greatest expose in American history, and it leads to everything. Let's break it down.
The only thing I care about is the scandal of the pedophiles, and in the next 10 days, you're going to see the Epstein file released.
In the next
10 days. So this came out today with Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck, cool people. We follow each other. Of course, he hosts a amazing network, Blaze, and all that. He broke this down, saying that in 10 days, the Epstein files is going to get released, the client list, etc. Now, Glenn Beck is notable enough to know this, to have the information all the way from the very top. The question is to the people, are you going to be able to accept the information that you read? Because I tell you, these files, if they are 100% accurate, is bigger than trafficking. It's about occult sacrifices. It's about rituals. It's about people in robes and whatnot. It's a whole lot more freaky than what most people are understanding on the surface level. It's about underground bunkers. It's about people being bonded to chains. It's about what could be possibly under that basketball or tennis court that was over there at Pedo Island, aka Little St. James. If they're going to expose this and do this the way that I'm thinking it's about to be done, it's going to change culture as a whole. People can't look at celebrities anymore. This is essentially, the downfall of Hollywood, the downfall of Washington, and in some aspects, the downfall of America. I just said on my last video that we are currently going through the Renaissance. We are in the Renaissance. The revolution was last year. This is the Reconstruction era. Nothing new under the sun. What was before is today. We are back in the Reconstruction era. And we're going to see that when this massive amount of destruction comes after this extreme amount of exposure that comes from these Jeffrey Epstein files. Anyone and everyone can be implicated.
Next 10 days.
Oh, please.
You think in the next 10 days the whole
Drake.
thing's going to be released?
Yeah.
And what kind of information you have to be able to be that certain about it?
I plead the fifth.
In the next 10 days.
Next 10 days.
Oh,
Glenn,
please.
Yeah.
stop it.
Next 10 days.
You're
I'm telling
teasing millions who want that list.
Day number 1, Kash Patel walks in. By the end of the day, it will be released.
Oh, please. Did Kash Patel get confirmed yet?
Not yet. They
Not
delayed
yet.
it.
And did RFK get confirmed yet?
Not yet.
Tulsi? None of
House,
them, though.
House, not Senate. Yeah.
So
All
as
right.
soon as he's confirmed, his first day, it will be released.
Oh, I can't wait.
With the stroke of a pen, he committed to declassifying the files concerning the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. A decision not just monumental, but pivotal. It is with profound honor that I have been entrusted by Speaker Mike Johnson and Chairman James Comer to lead the House Oversight Task Force on Declassification of Federal Secrets. Together with the help of the White House, our intelligence allies, the Department of Defense, the Department of Justice, we will be conducting investigations into the following.
Guys, this ain't just the Epstein files. They about to crack everything open. They're going to crack everything open. Anything that's pop culture, anyone that's been loud. I mean, if you guys are noticing what's happening, they're setting the pace for Americans to know how much the world is a stage. We just broke down the U.S. aid information. We're finding out about even things maybe the campaign ain't trying to expose, the H-1B thing, the fact that we're finding out how our employment systems work. We're finding out about how the education system work. We found out through Trump about how our justice systems work. If you guys aren't noticing what's going on, it's every fabric of American society that has been manipulated by powers that be in the back ends of it, in the backgrounds of all of these things. This is the era where the lights is being shined on them. We're starting to understand why things are the way they are. We're going to be, by the end of this year, I don't think anyone is going to say why, but the question will change to why didn't anyone do anything about it?
The assassinations of JFK, RFK, and Dr. Martin Luther King, unidentified aerial phenomena, also known as UAPs, unidentified submerged objects, also known as USOs, the Epstein client list, the origins of COVID-19, and the 9/11 files. This task force will be a beacon of bipartisanship. On the Republican side, Representatives Burchett, Boebert, Burleson, Crane, Gill, and Mace will be joining me, although I'd like to note that I'm expanding this to the entire governing body and will be allowing certain members to waive on. Our first hearing is set for March. The date will be announced soon, and we've already initiated close to a dozen communications with various agencies, to include Pam Bondi at the Department of Justice and the Secretary of State. This will no longer be a task force that makes bold promises only to fade into irrelevance or send strongly worded letters. This will be a relentless pursuit of truth and transparency, and we will not stop until the American people have the answers they deserve. We will cut through the bureaucracy, challenge the stonewalling, and ensure that the American people finally get the truth that they have been denied for too long. If we are to endure and thrive as a nation, we must restore trust through transparency. The American people must be trusted to think for themselves, to form their own judgments from the truth that they are entitled to know. We've been treated like children for too long and kept in the dark by those we elected to serve us. It is my solemn duty to begin mending this trust, to form a new relationship between the government and the governed. Let us embark on this journey together towards a government that does not serve, but one that enlightens. That does not just serve, but one that enlightens. Trust through transparency that begins.
I have spent
Anna
the last
Paulina has came in, and to me, she has become, without a doubt, one of the most significant people to enter politics in the last 10 years. I mean, she comes in and spearheads this whole thing, runs the UAP situation. She is just a masterclass of a politician. It's amazing the stuff that she gets to accomplish in such a short amount of time, and she's not too bad on the eyes. Hey, I'm sorry. I had to admit it. It's just a pleasure to look at her and watch her work. Been a fan of her for a while. But Anna Paulina is really one of them Americans that you can see that if you get the right people in the right positions, you start seeing change. And she's validation. She verifies that in every single way. As soon as she came in, we started seeing a lot of change in Washington. So it's amazing. It's well because the GOP didn't initially back her. She did everything on her own through grassroots. So she's a person that was chosen by the people, and she's still serving the people. So major shout out to Anna Paulina. She's a beast.
17 years in my own prison for what she, Jeffrey, and all the co-conspirators did to me. I was raped repeatedly. I was raped 3 times a day sometimes. And I was not the only girl on that island. There was a constant stream of girls being raped over and over and over again. And yes, Ghislaine must die in prison because I've been in hell and back for the last 17 years.
And 27 for me.
I was 10 years old when Liz Stein was being trafficked. I was 10. That is how long the sex trafficking ring has been going on.
And she's saying that she was 10. So it's been a problem. And obviously, these women, they're not picked when they're women. They're picked when they're girls, when they're kids, toddlers, some. It's hard to believe. And these things are going to be very striking, very hard for some people to digest. I even can foresee people denying the information when it comes to slap them in the face. I see a lot of mass denial. I do. Because people aren't ready for what's coming. And how sick some of these people in Hollywood and Washington really are. And how much we haven't changed from the ancient Babylonian days. And how much people are still worshiping those old Babylonian gods. That's the main thing that needs to be talked about, that I will always try to shed some light on, that the things that are happening is because of things that were before. And I have to be careful and selective with my words. But when people were worshiping a golden calf, they didn't just stop worshiping the golden calf. They might do something like turn it to the bull of Wall Street. You know, you notice one thing about the elite families when you do some research on them is one thing that they weaponize is last names. I always found this interesting. They understand the importance of last names and lineage and history, so much so that maybe every 2 generations they change their last names so people can't link their power. I just think in most ways we're still in the same days of old, except we've changed possibly the approach on pushing certain things and the titles of it, the keywords of it, and the culture behind it. But all in all, it would still be the same. Let's say if you had to sacrifice 42,000 children a year to one of these Babylonian deities, and You can't do open sacrifice anymore, but you can open up Planned Parenthood. And I know this is a stretch, but just this is a way that they could intertwine the worlds of the old and the worlds of new and make it make sense today. They are the people that control the world. They're very smart at manipulating reality itself. There's no other way to make that sound nicer than it is. They have a way of changing what is, changing the name about it, changing the way people view it, and still get these same results. And that's talent. Now, I want to bring up General Mike Flynn, someone that I've been a great supporter of, got to meet a few times, always showed great support, and I support him. There's rumors that he's going to be joining the Trump administration, which he addressed in this video, which is about, I can say it's last night now, probably like 11 hours old. But the most interesting thing that after addressing about if he's going to be in the administration is more of the Epstein. So this Epstein thing isn't going away. Not at all. It's on the way this time. It's coming. It's coming. And you talking about this guy right here was in charge of DEA. It's huge what we have right now. It really is. It's huge. We have people from high intelligence individuals that worked in the intelligence that's exposing what happened with Jeffrey Epstein. I just don't know if the people were ready.
Okay? I mean, there's been enough of these people that have come out of Hollywood, that have left Hollywood, have said, I can't be part of that. And this Epstein Island stuff is severe. This is really, really serious stuff. Because what they do, and I'm from the world of intelligence, in the world of intelligence, what we do to find people that we want to work for us is we try to compromise them. We put them into compromising situations. And it's very difficult at times because for me, I always say we're going to maintain the moral high ground. Because we're not going to do things that are going to go against our morality or our ethics, for that matter. So it makes it harder.
This is about compromising individuals. This whole thing is about compromising individuals. When you sit there and you see a individual that worked in intelligence, like General Mike Flynn, and he breaks down how in his position, when he worked in the intelligence industry, that he wanted to compromise people to get them to work for him. It makes you think, or at least it makes me think, about how a human trafficker that sells girls for millions of dollars, thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to elites, use the same strategies as a pimp that might sell a girl for $40. Now, this is important because although they are in two different sections of their industry, they have the same approach because it gets the same results. So, if you're telling me that if intelligence agencies use compromisation to control individuals, it makes 100% sense why Jeffrey Epstein client list is being hidden, because it's compromisation not only of these celebrities and politicians, but who is on the other end of that list. Who is Jeffrey Epstein sending that list to own these individuals? I think it's just that it's connected to so much, because if it's sent to someone that is requesting a list, that means they're just like the pimp that's using the same strategy over and over again. That's why they say the Diddy thing could be connected to Epstein. When they went to go to Diddy's spot, first place they went was for the cameras. It sounds a lot like they were looking for footage of people being in compromised positions. It's the same strategy, just a different plot.
Those that are actually following those rules. When you don't follow those rules, then and you find weaknesses, particularly in political people or judges, right? Politicians, representatives, some people in business, but certainly the politicians. I've seen it, and then you look at some of these other things that are now being exposed, right? So one of the things that I say, and there's a bunch of people in here tonight that I have gotten to know, I use this phrase, local action equals a national impact.
Yes.
Local action, national impact. Local action, national impact. Because Donald Trump is one man. He's one man. And I'm going to tell you, we just did a thing with just a couple hours.
Will that ever come out, do you think? I think part of why Kamala is getting so much support
he broke down how Bill Gates and other people were afraid of the Epstein list, which is why the Epstein list hasn't came out. We see that Senator Durbin was blocking the list a couple of times, and we come to find out he's good friends with Bill Gates and has worked with him through donations and received donations. So it's not random at all that the list hasn't came out. It's because people that's on the list are either in Washington, or the people that's on this list are friends with people in Washington, but apparently they can't be saved anymore. No more John Does.
Is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public?
Yes.
And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Yeah. Do you think Reid Hoffman's uncomfortable?
Yes. And Gates.
And Gates. Yeah.
It's interesting. He's talking about Bill Gates. But I got to ask anyone that's watching, do you truly think that Bill Gates, if his name is on this list and it says that he purchased someone or something that's illegal, do you think this would be enough to Bill Gates actually be canceled? Or is his money, power, and influence enough to get him out of here scot-free like Swiper the Fox? Is he able to get away if his name is on this list? Do you think Bill Gates would be able to just sweep this under the rug, still get media appearances, still get to play God in African nations that don't need him there, which he leave worse than when he comes? Do you think he still will be able to have fun and parade around this earth as if he's Saint Michael? I'll be honest with you, I think so, unless we actually start talking about criminal charges. Because the thing about it, it's not about him getting caught to do something wrong. It's about the attention spans of the people that see him doing wrong. We can't stay on topics long enough. We see time and time again when people don't give up on topics, people have the powers that be have to bend the will to them. Trump didn't like cryptocurrency, nor did anyone in his administration appear last time. But the crypto community got so hot and so loud that now Trump is accepting it and is one of the greatest backers of it. We see time and time again that if the people are fed up long enough and loud enough, you don't only need to be loud. You got to be loud for a long time. And that's where you can have real change. So Bill Gates was to get on the list. People got to be fed up and saying enough is enough. They got to stay on it, 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 stay on it. Look at it as marketing until we see real change. You got to let them know enough is not enough for us anymore because we've had enough. We're getting just enough. Hope that makes sense. Please like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell. And if you are a degen, of course, check out the Lucre coin. No financial advice. I ain't saying buy it. I'm just simply saying check it out because a retweet, a tweet about it, of course, it helps raise the market cap. So you'll be helping out the community. The number one coin that is changing the narrative for influential coins. We're on day 4. We're still alive and we're still growing. Super proud of the team. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to the back end team. Super proud of this crypto launch and looking for the CoinGecko, the moonshot, in addition to a collaboration that we have coming out with these TikTokers, and on Friday, a massive X space with a massive crypto celebrity and a crypto company. Got a lot coming out, and tomorrow we'll be hitting a X space at like 5 to 6 Central. It's either 1 or 2, but most likely gonna do 5 Central, and a live on Friday or Sunday. But we'll keep pumping this, keep pushing this. We're not leaving anyone behind. We're breaking the narratives. Appreciate you guys. See you until we break the next narrative. Thank you for your support.